I never thought I'd hear those words and feel the ground vanish beneath me. I was walking past the living room when I caught the edge of a conversation, my ears sharper than my courage. "Alex did it on purpose," Emma said, her voice tight, but almost amused. "Relax. It was just business," my best friend Alex replied smoothly. He was too trusting. He always thinks everyone's on his side. I froze, my chest tightened. Business? Trusting? On his side? That's when it hit I wasn't just ignored or pushed aside. I was being set up, betrayed. Mom, Dad. "He didn't deserve it," Emma whispered. "Don't blame us for noticing the truth," my father said, calm and cold. "He should have seen it coming." I couldn't breathe. I had trusted them all. My hands shook and my vision blurred. I backed away silently, leaning against the hallway wall. My brain refused to process it at first. I had to hear it again. "Mean you all knew?" I finally called out, my voice barely steady. All three froze. Then Alex's confident smirk appeared. "Oh, so now you're eavesdropping?" he asked, feigning irritation. "You weren't paying attention before, were you?" I swallowed. "You manipulated the project. You ruined me. It's not my fault." "You weren't competent enough to see the risks," Alex said, shrugging like it was nothing. "You really believed I was your friend?" Emma's eyes avoided mine. I didn't know what else to do. You were so stubborn, so oblivious. I thought choosing someone else would be easier, safer. Safer. I shouted. "Safer! You betrayed me. All of you!" My parents didn't move, didn't flinch. My mother's expression was perfectly calm. "We made decisions for what we thought was best. You can't see the bigger picture yet. You never cared about me." "It's not really," I said, my voice cracking. "You never cared at all, did you?" Alex laughed, low and sharp. "Finally. You get it. You were always too soft, too trusting. That's why this works so well." I felt my heart twist. The girl I loved, the friend I thought was loyal, my own parents, they had all conspired, in one way or another, against me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something. But my body felt frozen, broken. "Why?" I asked, whispering, as if saying it louder would shatter the world. Emma's voice softened, almost guilty. I didn't want to hurt you," I thought. "Maybe it would be temporary, or maybe you'd forgive me eventually." I laughed bitterly. "Forgive you? You don't understand. You've erased years of trust. I can't just forgive this." Alex leaned against the wall, smirking. "See, this is why I knew you'd fail. You're all heart, no strategy. Can't survive in the real world, thinking everyone is on your side." I swallowed back tears, and you just enjoy watching people suffer. "I enjoy watching people wake up," he said, eyes cold. "You're finally seeing the truth." My parents exchanged glances, but said nothing. Their silence was deafening. I realized they weren't disappointed in Alex. They were proud of him. They had chosen him over me, without hesitation. I turned to Emma. "And you? You chose him over me? Was it worth it?" Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean for it to go this far, I thought. I thought it was the only way." "The only way?" I repeated, feeling my chest tighten. "You left me. You abandoned me. You all abandoned me." The room felt smaller, suffocating. I had always been the loyal one, the forgiving one, the one who tried to see the good in everyone. And now, I understood how blind I had been. Alex's voice cut through my thoughts. "You're angry? Good. That's the first step, but don't cry. Crying won't fix what's already broken." "I don't want to fix it," I said sharply. "I don't want anything from any of you. You've taken everything already." My parents' faces hardened. "You'll understand someday. We acted for your own good." "For my own good?" I echoed. "You destroyed my career, my trust, my relationships. For my own good? That's cruelty, not protection." Emma looked down, ashamed. "I'm sorry. Truly. I never wanted it to end like this." I shook my head, tears finally spilling over. "Sorry doesn't cut it. Not anymore. You don't get. To apologize after years of pushing me away?" After everything I gave, everything I trusted? Alex shrugged. Life isn't fair. You learned that the hard way? I stumbled back toward the hallway, trying to catch my breath. My mind raced. Anger, disbelief, grief, they all collided, leaving me dizzy. I had always believed in second chances, in loyalty, in love. And now, I didn't know if I could ever trust again. You can go, I said finally, my voice low but steady. I don't want to see any of you again. Emma reached out, but I stepped back. Just don't. The silence that followed was suffocating. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. I wanted to cry, but the tears had already exhausted themselves. I sank to the floor in the hallway, my back against the wall, shaking. I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a betrayal. It was a turning point. My world had shattered, and there was no going back. I could beg them, grovel, try, to be accepted again, or I could step back, rethink everything, and rebuild myself from the ruins they left behind. I didn't know what I would choose. One thing was clear. I couldn't stay broken forever, not if I wanted to survive. I stayed away from all of them for weeks. My apartment felt like a bunker. My phone mostly silent. I didn't answer calls, didn't check messages. I just stared at the walls and thought about how they'd destroyed my trust, how Alex laughed while Emma chose someone else, how my own parents just stood there, cold and indifferent. Isolation isn't weakness, I told myself one night. It's preparation. The next morning, I sent an application to a company I had always admired. My resume had my previous accomplishments, yes, but I left out nothing about my past failures. I wanted to be judged by skill, not pity. You're serious about this? Sophie asked when she interviewed me. She was a coworker now, one of the few people I'd let near my life. You don't seem desperate like most people would after losing a job. I'm not desperate, I said. I'm careful. I don't make the same mistakes twice. Sophie smiled, sharp and knowing. I like that. Most people are too busy whining to notice opportunities. I smirked slightly. I prefer quiet observation. The loud ones always ruin things for themselves. Leaned back. You've been through a lot, haven't you? More than I ever expected, I admitted. I trusted people who shouldn't have had my trust. Learned the hard way. Sophie nodded, but she didn't press. Some things I realized. I could only carry myself. At work, I noticed subtle shifts. Alex was still trying to rise, still trying to prove something. But now, emails he sent were ignored, meetings he planned fell through, and his confident smile faltered in the break room when he saw me. Didn't know I knew yet, but karma was in motion. Hey, Alex, I said casually one afternoon, passing him in the hallway. How's the Henderson account going? He stiffened. Fine, he said shortly, voided my eyes. I kept walking. No smirk, no satisfaction, just silent awareness. Let him panic quietly. Emma's posts on social media became visible to me occasionally. Pictures with her new boyfriend, smiles too forced, dinners too staged. I could tell something was off. I didn't feel joy seeing it. I felt clarity. One evening, Sophie stopped by my apartment with coffee. Can't just live in the past forever, she said, handing me a cup. You're too smart to waste yourself on grudges, but you can do something about it. What do you mean? I asked. Living well, she said. Sometimes the best revenge is showing them that nothing they did can touch you, that you're better without them. I stared at the cup, letting the words sink in. Better without them. The thought warmed me more than anger ever could. Sounds simple, I said finally, but it's harder than it looks. If you let them control your mind, Sophie replied. You've already won if you survive this without losing yourself. I nodded slowly. Surviving without losing myself, that would be my mission. No confrontation, no screaming, just living, stronger than before. I started working harder than I ever had. Meetings, projects, presentations, I handled them with calm precision, always one step ahead. I noticed the subtle envy in colleagues' eyes, the respect growing quietly. Every small victory reminded me of what I had lost, but also what I had gained: control over my life again. One day, Alex accidentally emailed me a draft meant for someone else, a report showing clear mismanagement. I didn't reply, didn't forward it. I just saved it, knowing the consequences would unfold on their own. A week later, the manager confronted him. "Alex, this report is unacceptable. We'll have to escalate it to HR." I was walking by when I heard it. I didn't stop. Didn't intervene. Just a quiet smile inside. Silent justice. Slow but sure. Emma called once. "Can we talk?" she asked. Her voice trembled. I hesitated. "About what?" "Everything. I made mistakes. Want to fix things." I laughed softly. "Bitter? Fix things? You chose someone else? You left me? There's nothing to fix. I want to explain. I don't need explanations. I need nothing from anyone who betrayed me, especially you." The line went silent. I didn't hang up. I didn't cry. I just let her voice fade. "My parents sent a message too. We want to see you this weekend. Let's talk." I read it, folded the phone, set it aside. Some things don't need talking about, I murmured to myself. Evenings became my time for reflection.
Yes.
I thought about my choices, my trust, my anger. I realized I had given them too much power over my happiness. I let their actions define my worth, and now I wouldn't. Observation, I whispered one night while reviewing my notes for a project. Patience, precision, let them fall by their own weight. And they did. Alex's failures multiplied. Emma's relationship faltered publicly. My parents faced scrutiny over past decisions. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat, simply noticed. Quietly satisfied that life had a way of balancing itself when I stayed out of the chaos. Sophie noticed my calm. "You're changing," she said once, handing me another cup of coffee. "Not just stronger, but freer." I smiled faintly. I'm learning that survival isn't about fighting everyone. Sometimes it's about letting them stumble while you rise. Her eyes sparkled. "Exactly. And you've risen already. They just haven't realized it yet." I looked out the window at the city lights. My old life seemed distant now. Broken doors behind me, new paths ahead. I was still me, just sharper, quieter, more careful. They had tried to break me. They failed. Silent revenge was sweeter than anger, and I intended to keep it that way. I watched quietly as the world I had once known began to unravel around the people who betrayed me. Not out of glee, didn't want to gloat, but because the irony was too precise to ignore. Alex stormed into the office one morning, face pale, voice sharp. "How did this happen?" "I didn't authorize any of this." I leaned against the doorway. "Maybe you should check the emails you sent, Alex. You're pretty thorough when you want credit." He whirled toward me, eyes blazing. "I don't." "Act like you don't know what's happening. You're enjoying this, aren't you?" "I'm observing," I said evenly. "There's a difference." He ran a hand over his hair. "I didn't know it would go this far. I never meant for it to." "You never care about consequences until they hit you," I interrupted. "You set things in motion and left everyone else to clean up the mess, including yourself." Alex shook his head. "You're twisting this. You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," I said, stepping closer. "You thought I was too soft, too trusting. But now, you're the one exposed." He spat on the floor, frustrated. "You think you've won? You think I'll just crumble?" I didn't respond. I just watched as HR called him into a meeting he could not escape. Silence became my ally. Its karma wasn't loud, it was inevitable. Later, I saw Emma in the cafe where we used to meet. She froze when she saw me, lips parting as if to speak, then closing again. Her boyfriend, the one she had chosen over me, argued quietly with her about money, timing, and trust. Her eyes darted to me once, filled with regret. "Emma," I said softly, approaching her table. She stood abruptly. I didn't expect... "I didn't expect what?" I asked, sitting opposite her. You made your choice. Don't tell me now that it was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to end like this, she whispered, tears forming. You didn't think, Emma. You never think. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here, in your life. Well, it's catching up with you, isn't it? She lowered her eyes. I didn't want you to see me like this. I already see it, I said quietly. It's not revenge I feel, just observation, that's all. Her voice shook. Can we talk about us? Shook my head. There's no us. There is only the truth you ignored. And now the consequences are yours. I won't fix them. Not anymore. She bit her lip. But you can keep your regrets, Emma. I'm done collecting apologies I didn't ask for. Even my parents tried. My phone rang one evening, and my mother's voice was soft, almost pleading. We want to see you, son. We made mistakes. Let's talk. Let's fix this. I set the phone down. My father followed up with a text, careful and measured. We never wanted to lose you. Come home, please. I stared at the wall. The framed photo of us as a family, smiling, looked almost alien now. I remembered the birthday I'd spent making a cake, the late nights helping with work they'd promised to support me in, the words of encouragement I'd once believed. All of it felt like memories from someone else's life. I picked up the phone again. You made your choices. I made mine. I don't need closure from anyone who betrayed me. I never did. Weeks passed. Alex's emails became frantic. His mistakes were magnified by the manager's attention. Each phone call I ignored became a hammer on his confidence. He tried to explain himself to colleagues. Nobody believed him anymore. Emma called a few more times, each attempt more desperate. I let her words fade into silence. Every apology, every excuse had only confirmed what I already knew. People, like them, could only act when they thought they controlled the situation. And now, they did. Sometimes I walked past the places where our memories had been. I found myself holding old gifts in my hand, a book Alex gave me years ago, a necklace. From Emma, I looked at them and didn't feel anger. I didn't feel longing, felt clarity. These objects, symbols of trust, were reminders of my strength now. You're stronger than you realize, I whispered to myself one evening, holding the necklace. They thought they could break me. They couldn't. Sophie noticed the change. In me at work. You've grown, haven't you? She asked, handing me coffee. Not just in skill, but you're untouchable now. I've learned, I said, staring at the city through the window. Untouchable isn't about power. It's about control over yourself. Let them fall. Let them learn the hard way. Let karma do its work. She smiled knowingly. And it's working. I nodded. It's working. Slowly. Quietly. And I don't have to say a word. Sometimes I imagined Alex standing in front of me, begging, trying to justify himself. I let the thought linger, not for satisfaction, but as a reminder. I had been wronged, I had survived, I had grown. He had failed, Emma had failed, my parents had failed. And now, all of them had to live with the consequences. You didn't know it would go this far, I muttered, remembering Alex's words. But it did, and it always does. I looked out at the city lights, feeling a calm settle over me. The anger was still there, simmering beneath the surface, but it no longer controlled me. I had chosen observation over confrontation. I had chosen patience over vengeance. And in the quiet, the truth became clear. Silence could be louder than any scream. My old life had ended, but a new one was beginning. I would walk it on my terms, free from their shadows, untouchable in ways they could never reach. I walked into the room and felt the weight of every memory I had tried to leave behind. Alex, Emma, and my parents were there, all waiting, all expecting something from me. I could feel their eyes on me, but I didn't flinch. I didn't hesitate. I had nothing to prove except to myself. Finally, my father said, voice tight but polite, "We thought you might never come." "I came," I said calmly. "But don't expect me to act like nothing happened." Alex shifted his eyes, flicking nervously between me and the floor.
I wanted to explain. You wanted to explain? I interrupted, voice steady even. Do you think any words could undo what you did?
All the lies, all the manipulation. He swallowed hard. I didn't realize how far it would go. I thought I was helping myself. Helping yourself? I repeated, my tone soft but firm. You betrayed me. You humiliated me. You tried to ruin my life. That's not help. That's destruction. Emma bit her lip, tears forming in her eyes. I know I made mistakes. I chose the wrong person. You chose, I said. And now you face the consequences. I won't be part of them anymore. My parents exchanged glances. We want to make things right, my mother said, voice wavering. We acted foolishly. Let's talk. Rebuild. I shook my head slightly. Rebuilding isn't for everyone. Some things can't be repaired, and some people, they're gone. From my life for a reason. Alex's jaw tightened. So that's it? You're just walking away? I looked at him and then at Emma. I'm not walking away. I'm moving forward. There's a difference. I've learned, I've grown, and I don't need your approval or forgiveness to live my life. I never wanted this. I didn't think it would hurt you this much. I sighed quietly. It did hurt, but I survived. And surviving isn't about revenge. It's about rising above the people who tried to pull you down. That's what I continue to do. Sophie's words came back to me. Sometimes the best revenge is living well. And that's exactly what I had done. I didn't need to gloat, didn't need to shout. I let my life speak for itself. You've changed, Alex, muttered finally you. You're different. I am, I said simply. Different because I chose myself over letting you all define me. I chose calm over chaos, strength over bitterness, and clarity over anger. That's what makes me untouchable now. Emma's hands shook as she reached for the letter I had once written her, the one I had considered sending years ago. I held it firmly. This belonged to the past, I said. I'm leaving it there. Placed the letter on the table, untouched, and stepped back. Some memories are reminders, not instructions. I don't need to relive the pain to remember the lessons. And you don't get to dictate my future anymore. My parents' expressions softened, but I could see it was still about appearances, not sincerity. We just want to see you happy, my father said cautiously. I am happy, I said quietly. Happy because I stopped waiting for your validation. Happy because I control my life now, not you or anyone else. And I'm at peace knowing that whatever lessons you had to learn, you're learning them now, without me. Alex looked down at his shoes, silent for the first time. Emma's shoulders shook, and I knew the realization of her mistakes weighed. On her, my parents stayed seated, still trying to hold the image of family together, but the power they once had over me was gone, completely gone. I walked toward the window and stared at the city lights below. The noise of the streets reminded me of life moving forward, moving fast. I didn't need to drag old pain behind me anymore. I didn't need to justify my choices to anyone. I had done everything I could to rise above the betrayal. Sophie had been right. Living well was the loudest response, seeing me composed, steady. And untouched by their chaos was the only reply I needed. I turned back to them one last time. I'm leaving now. Not because I'm angry or because I hate you, but because I've learned that my peace matters more than trying to repair what was broken by your choices. Emma whispered, almost too softly to hear. I hope you find someone who truly values you. I nodded slightly. Thank you. But I've already found someone who matters most myself. No one said anything else. I could feel the tension, the regret, the unfinished conversations. I didn't care. I had done everything I needed to do. I had acknowledged them, spoken my truth, and taken my leave. Before walking out, I glanced at the photo frame on the side table, our family smiling on a vacation long ago. I picked it up, held it for a moment, and set it down gently. Memories are lessons, not anchors, I whispered to myself. I deleted old contacts from my phone, closed the door behind me, and didn't look back. For the first time in years, I felt a freedom I hadn't thought possible. No anger, no longing, just quiet, unshakable strength. As I stepped into the evening air, I felt lighter than I had in a long time. The city hummed around me, and for the first time, I felt part of it, moving with it, not trapped by the past. I smiled faintly, imagining the possibilities ahead. Sophie's advice echoed again. Quiet victories were the sweetest. I didn't need applause or recognition. I had gained something far greater: self-respect, clarity, and the knowledge that no one could ever diminish my value again. I walked away from them all, from every betrayal and every expectation. And finally, toward a life I could call mine. And for the first time, I felt ready for whatever or whoever might come next.